Midwestern State University exemplifies a proud and progressive nature, one which is reflected in the present attitude, the future expectations, and the past accomplishments. The education pioneers left a legacy of excellence that MSU continues to uphold. Over the last 7 decades, Midwestern State University has answered to 5 different names and had 4 different locations. In 1922, Wichita Falls had a population of approximately 40,000, and the citizens were enthusiastic about the possibility of a city junior college. Bonds for building the college were approved by voters in the amount of $850,000. Support for the establishment of Wichita Falls Junior College was overwhelming, and it was destined to become one of the most successful junior colleges in the state of Texas. The junior college classes started in September of 1922 in the building that now houses the administration offices of the Wichita Falls Independent School District. 36 students and a faculty of 8 taught both high school and junior college classes. Students studied English, Spanish, chemistry, mathematics, physics, history, public speaking, bookkeeping, and typing. Construction on the new building located on Avenue H began early in 1923 and was completed by April 1924. The citizens of Wichita Falls were so proud of the new school, they held a formal opening and dedication featuring the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. The high school and junior college moved into their new classes on Monday morning, May 5th. Enrollment had climbed to 243 students and had 9 members in their first graduating class of 1924. The Avenue H location still houses the Wichita Falls High School.
And I saw in the Texas Outlook this beautiful picture of the Wichita Falls Junior College, brand new. And my mother had been a teacher, and I was going to be a teacher, I thought. And I said, oh, supposing someday I'd get to teach at that building. And I ended up by teaching there the first day of school.
1925 marked the beginning of the college newspaper, The Wichitan. The early bi-weekly paper was primarily dedicated to enlighten the students to all chapel speeches and to the dangers of auto accidents. The first print of the paper was 8 pages long and issued 1,000 copies. The Wichitan was filled with campus and local news, poetic and inspirational writing, and advertisements. The first volume of the Waikun was issued in 1925. The annual's name was influenced by city folklore. It was believed that the Wichita Indians of old preserved their brave deeds and tribal legend in a record book called the Waikun. The students thought this would be the perfect name for their memory book. The fall of '25 also introduced the college to formal athletics as a member of the State Association of Junior Colleges. The college had excellent records in both football and basketball. Additional student activities included wrestling, tennis, baseball, beauty and popularity contests, drama, chorales, a literary society, and language clubs, just to name a few. The Wichita Falls Junior College continued to grow, largely due to the beautiful new building. However, students were also drawn to the college because of proximity and cost. The highest school fee, which would include a lab science, did not exceed $25 for the entire year. Students that lived outside of Wichita Falls could attend the junior college for as little as $90 a year. In 1934, Mr. and Mrs. John G. Hardin of Burke Burnett established the Hardin Foundation for Wichita County. The foundation was designed to assist in building a junior college in or near Wichita Falls as soon as land could be secured. On January 17, 1936, the official groundbreaking ceremony on Taft Boulevard was held. Mr. Hardin swung the spade on the new 40-acre campus given by W.B. Hamilton and N.H. Martin. In October, construction began on the Hardin Administration Building and cafeteria. Crowded conditions forced the college out in the fall, and classes were temporarily relocated to the First Methodist Church Education Building near downtown Wichita Falls. The name was changed to Hardin Junior College in 1936 in honor of the Hardin family's substantial gift. With the new name came a long-awaited dream. 15 years since its humble beginnings, the college moved to its permanent home in March of 1937. More than 7,000 excited visitors toured the halls of the new Hardin Junior College during the open house.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
The college continued to graduate students right through the crisis years of the Great Depression and World War II. In 1946, the institution established a senior college division, granting for the first time baccalaureate degrees. The junior was dropped from the name, and the institution was now known as Hardin College. The first dormitories, Victory and Marchman Halls, were constructed the same year. By the late 1940s, 6 additional buildings were added to meet the needs of the expanding campus. Dr. D.L. Ligon joined the faculty in 1937 and held every administrative position on campus during his 52-year stay. This included being named Honorary Dean of Women for a day in 1985 during homecoming by the MSU Board of Regents. With the passage of time comes change, but Dr. Ligon remembered the campus as it was in the 40s.
As we entered the World War II, the students were being drafted, men were being drafted, and the atmosphere was totally optimistic, and the students were ready to do anything they could do for the war effort. In fact, at one time and during that time, we had what was called, the students had what was called a Victory Garden, just south of the present administration building. Raised vegetables. You came to the cafeteria. Oh, it was terrific. They were just simply wonderful, that's all.
The 40s found Hardin College with a successful football team and a school full of spirit and pride. During the 1946-47 season, the team rallied to a 9-2 record, and the Indian Band was introduced with an impressive 46 members. 1949 brought the Indians the best collegiate record in Texas, with 10 wins and 1 loss. The academics on campus flourished as well, with new programs such as graphic arts, radio and electronics, School of Photography, a cooperative nursing program, as well as a School of General Agriculture. While enrollment doubled to more than 1,000 following World War II, so did the original campus, expanding to 167 acres by 1950. That year witnessed 2 notable events in the history of the institution. The school received its initial accreditation from the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, and the name of the college was once again changed. The new name was selected from 2 final choices. The Chamber of Commerce had suggested Wichita Falls University, and one of the original junior college professors, A.F. Edwards, had suggested Midwestern. Later that year, Dr. Arthur Beyer arrived on campus in 1950 as a professor of biology. He was to have a tremendous influence on generations of students during his 41-year stay, as well as playing the lead role in the beautification process of the campus.
75-foot greenhouse, and we started to raise plants, and every one of them were used in landscaping. It was a good exercise. It taught me a lot, never having landscaped anything before in my life.
In 1952, graduate degree programs were introduced for the first time, as well as the establishment of the campus U.S. Army Reserve Unit called the Indian Battalion.
In contrast to the serene past decade, the 60s stirred society with the Vietnam War, civil rights movement, Kennedy assassination, and man walking on the moon. The university saw its share of change during this period as well, but it didn't experience the turmoil seen across the rest of the country.
Midwestern was an interesting study at that time, even though you could see the personality of the entire country changing and you could see the personality of the students changing. We had very little campus unrest during the Vietnam era. The major unrest in this country passed Midwestern by.
There was one sort of campus unrest event during my time here that I think is still recorded in the history of the university as a bigger deal than it really was. The Clark Student Center was the site of a campus activity production, the showing of a borderline tasteless film called The Groove Tube. I personally didn't see it, and apparently Dean or Vice President James Stewart for Student Affairs at the time was so outraged by the lack of moral order of this film being shown on campus that he walked in the middle of it and pulled the plug on it. This generated the only episode of campus outrage and unrest that I actually saw during my 5 years here. There was a campus sit-in for probably the first and last time in the history of the university, at least insofar as I know, where large numbers, by Midwestern standards, of students filled the halls of the Clark Student Center and made it impossible to pass through, protesting that a university official would exercise raw power to come into a student activity and literally pull the power supply on a film that he found to be tasteless.
Many exciting physical changes were taking place for Midwestern during this turbulent social time. A new physical education complex, later named D.L. Ligon Coliseum, was added, as well as the Moffett Library, a new science building, and additional men's and women's dormitories. Most of the buildings were updated to include air conditioning, and Midwestern was admitted into the Texas college and university system. The 70s were years of continued change and surprises for both the country and Midwestern. The Vietnam War ended. Women received equality of rights under the law. A U.S. president left office in disgrace. And Midwestern University was renamed for the last time.
My personal Midwestern documents reflect some of the changes that took place at the university during the time that I was here. I have 3 Midwestern diplomas. My BA diploma says Midwestern University, and my 2 master's diplomas say Midwestern State University. The transcript has a big rubber stamp in the middle of it that says name change to Midwestern State University in the middle of my academic record. Perhaps if they really wanted to get specific about the school's location, since they claimed that was one of the reasons for doing it, should we not just call it North Upper Central Midwest, sort of West but not quite West Texas State University? So we had a lot of fun with that. But
during the latter part of the decade, the university began taking steps toward the next technological era. The Fine Arts Building, later named the Thane Fine Arts Building, was completed. The national award-winning design was planned to incorporate classrooms, theaters, studios, labs, and offices all under one roof. The university acquired the current president's home, as well as additional acreage south of campus. And MSU became one of the first universities of its size to require computer science in the core classes. Just over a half century, MSU had grown from a small community college in the oil patch to a thriving institution thanks to the visionaries and college presidents of the past. Randolph Lee Clark, James Cantwell, H.D. Fillers, George M. Krutzinger, James Boren, Travis White, and John Barker. During the 80s, Ronald Reagan's administration brought a new surge of conservatism to the country, while international terrorism became more prevalent in the world.
In the early 80s, Midwestern State University continued to grow and establish a strong academic reputation. Starting in 1981, the campus underwent major reconstruction and expansion projects under the direction of the new university president, Dr. Louis J. Rodriguez. More than $24 million were spent throughout the campus to update, rebuild, or construct new buildings. The renovation and expansion of Clark Student Center, the Moffett Library, the Fine Arts Building, and the Fowler and Ferguson buildings all contributed to a new look on campus. In addition to the physical changes, MSU had several internal expansions. The Bureau of Business and Government Research and the MSU Press were developed. The Small Business Development Center was created in 1987. The economic crunch of the mid-'80s presented MSU with the greatest challenges ever. The sudden and unforeseen collapse of the oil industry led to a dramatic decline in state revenues and appropriations for higher education. In the spring of 1986, enrollment declined for the first time in many years due to the state-mandated increase in tuition. In 1988, the first time in 32 years, MSU welcomed the return of football and a marching band. After only 4 years of participation, the Midwestern Indians won the Texas Intercollegiate Athletic Association conference title, as well as being ranked 10th in the nation in the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, Division II non-scholarship football.
Here we go. Keeper Pettigrew. He's got room to go. He can go all the way. Inside the 30, 20. No flags down. He is gone, Terry Richmond.
As a result of the new energy on campus, enrollment began to rise again and continued to increase. During the decade of the 80s, enrollment exploded by 25%. Due to the oil-based depression, the student body included many workers needing and demanding to be trained or retrained for new careers in the high-tech information age. An ongoing concern for the university and its leaders is the challenge of offering a high-quality education to an increased number of students, while the state provides fewer and fewer financial resources. Midwestern has met this challenge head-on with a long list of student accomplishments.
The 90s saw Midwestern enter another period of campus construction and renovation as new buildings were erected and older buildings updated, such as the J.S. Bridwell Hall, the renovation of Bolin Science Hall, construction of McCullough Trigg Hall, the acquisition of Bridwell Courts, and the renovation of Clark Student Center. MSU's expansion also included several beautification and art acquisitions, such as the Phil and Aurora Bolin Fountain, the Sun Washer, and the Gates of Hercules. Under the leadership of MSU President Dr. Louis J. Rodriguez, construction the past 15 years has totaled more than $47 million, and academically, the university is recognized throughout the state and nation for excellence.
I could talk for an hour about Dr. Rodriguez, and I would repeat myself many times. He is an exceptional man. He is a dedicated educator, and he is a man who loves his fellow man and in particular wants to give him a chance to meet any potential that he may have. And that's a wonderful thing for a man to have. He's motivated, and he motivates other people around him.
One factor remains constant in the ever-changing picture: the spirit of past citizens, students, faculty, and administration that brought this thriving university from its modest beginnings continues to live in the hearts and minds of today's educators. Midwestern State University's past is full of memories, milestones, and hard work. The present is ever-changing and exciting, and the future presents a new series of challenges and goals ready to be met and exceeded.